Okay, let's go over 3 vocabulary words. We just listened a little bit about them in the last video, but we're going to go over them one more time just to make sure it goes into our brain. So the first thing that we talked about was informational text. And I know that you've talked about those in your class before, and we've talked about them in the library. So let's just remind ourselves. An informational text is a book that tells you facts and information. So I want you to think. Would a book like Pig the Pug be an informational text? No, that's just a silly made-up book. That's fiction. That's for entertainment. This is an example of an informational text. Whenever we read books where we learn facts, like we read a book in the library about George Washington once, and we learned something from that. We learned information and facts, and that was an informational text. Okay. Our next vocabulary word we need to review, number 2, is central idea. Central idea. Central idea is what a book or something that you're reading or watching is mainly about. So, if I'm reading a book about George Washington's life and where he grew up and who his wife was and what his job was, then what would the central idea be? Think about that. The central idea would be something about George Washington's impressive life and all the things that he accomplished. So when we read this book today, when I read this book to you, you're going to be thinking, what is the main thing that we are learning and this book is telling us about? And lastly, let's go over the third vocab word one more time. Evidence, supporting evidence. When I support something, if I'm supporting this book on my hands, that means I'm holding it up and I'm helping it. Supporting evidence helps and holds up our central idea. It makes sure that they all support that one main idea. Okay, so when we're looking for supporting evidence, it's going to be details, information, and facts that are in the book that support what we were talking about. So in the next slide, you're going to listen to me read this book. And then I want you to be thinking the whole time about what is the book about and how do you know that? What are details or facts supporting evidence that tells us what the central idea is?